town of Greifswald has many mystical tales about its founding and treasures. This legend is about how it was formed and why this city is called Greifswald. Greifswald can be translated as Forest of the Gryphon. As you all know, the Gryphon is a mythical creature and is a mixture of an eagle and a lion. This is why he is often associated as a ruler of land and air. Once upon a time, as many fairy tales begin, there was a large forest before the town existed. Some monks decided to form a city near the river Rig, which is near the cluster of Eldena. But they positioned the city more in the forest, as this would be a better protected place. When they marked the area of their new city, one of them found an odd and huge bird sitting on its nest and breeding. This creature was a griffin with 4 feet, a long tail, 2 heavy-looking wings, with a sharp beak and a body like a lion. The monks took it as a good sign and called the city Greifswald. As the development of the new town began, the griffin disappeared. But later he returned and horrified the town citizens by taking away their children. The inhabitants were so appalled by the griffin's actions that they chopped down the tree where it was nesting, slayed its offspring, and banned the griffin out of their territory. The griffin didn't stop terrorizing other small villages, but one brave cowherder torched the forest so that it was destroyed. The griffin was never seen again.
Nowadays, Greifswald is not just a small place near the river Rig. Its borders are now limited by the Isle of Usedom, the Isle of Rügen, and the river Rig's estuary into the Danish Vik, which is a part of the Greifswalder Bodden. This makes a space of 50.50 square kilometers. Greifswald got a population about 54,362 inhabitants. With its 8 townships, such as Downtown, Ostseeviertel, Vik and Eldena, it has been the most dynamic Hanseatic city in Germany in the year 2007. The cluster of Eldena is probably the most historic building in Greifswald. Although you just can't see the ruins, you can imagine how these broken walls formed with 1,000 other stones the cluster of the monks in former times. In 1190, the Cistercian Cluster was built after the destruction of the other cluster in Dagun in 1172. In the 30 Years' War, the cluster was basically destroyed. Even after that, the bricks were used for the fortification in the center of Greifswald. The university also claimed the material for new official buildings. People came to the conclusion to close the remaining walls, but the domiciled artist Caspar David Friedrich made the ruins famous with his paintings. Nowadays you can still see the ruins.
The old graveyard of Greifswald measures 4.4 hectares and is an historical monument. On this place there was an old chapel, which does not exist anymore. From here you can already see the dome St. Nikolai, which in colloquial is called the Slim Nikolai. The church is dedicated to the patron saint of the merchants and the seamen and was built in the late 30th century. It's the oldest church of Greifswald in the style of Gothic brick buildings and sticks out as a town's landmark. The St. Marian Church is colloquially called the Fig Mary and was built around 1280 AD. Like a protective plucking hand, she is perching over the town. The painter Helmut Maletzke created a memorial for the people who were killed in action in the Second World War. It exists in the hall of the tower since 1985.
The St Jacoby Church is the smallest of the 3 Gothic main churches in Greifswald. It's dedicated to the patron saint of the fishermen, the Apostle Jacobus. This church also has its roots in the 13th century. During the Napoleonic occupation, the church was used as a battlefield bakery. The other 3 churches are called Johannes, Christus and St Joseph. So, Greifswald got 6 beautiful churches.
The historic center of Greifswald looks impressive because of its Gothic styling. It is fenced by a water moat and a wall. It's still the city center of Greifswald. The Ernst Moritz Arndt University was founded in 1456 and belongs to the oldest universities in Middle Europe. Greifswald is often described as a university with a town around. The slogan of the university is "Knowledge attracts." 2/3 of the 12,000 students aren't from Mecklenburg-West Pomerania. The university consists of 5 faculties: theological, political, medical, philosophical and mathematical faculty.
The Rig is the only river in Greifswald. With its length of 30 kilometers it flows into the Greifswalder Bodden, which is part of the Baltic Sea. Thus, its estuary is in the district Wiek. Even in the Middle Ages, the river was important for the economic development of Greifswald. In 1278, Greifswald became a member of the Hanse and had connections to a lot of new harbors. Today, the harbor of Greifswald is only used for recreational boating. Around the market square is the High Street, where you can find, amongst others, several clothes shops, jewelry shops and stationery shops. Another shopping possibility is the Elysian Park, the biggest shopping center in our region. You can find supermarkets, hairdressers, bakeries, restaurants, clothes shops, a pharmacy and an electronics store. There's also a large hardware store in a separate section.
Greifswald is a pearl of Western Pomerania. With its university, Greifswald is the center of the young generation in the northeastern part of Germany. It is a unique town with a strong community spirit.